Okay, there we go. Recording started. We're at 15:05. Let's go ahead and do our run up. 1485, that's only 20. 1480, that's only 25, so we're good to go. And we're going to on 22.8 which is supposed to be the Unicom. And we're gonna take off, and I'll show you on the map that we are in fact where we're supposed to be. Right there, and that is Quail Mesa 15 AZ, and we're going to Riverside Muni. Alright, I had a crash. I do have crash detection on, and I had a crash because of the scenery and because something happened to the scenery and me. So let's see if we can get it done this time. Here we go. $80 knots, and we're up. I got a positive rate.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Let's adjust for trim.
Terrain ahead.
And let's go ahead and arm that 12,000.
Terrain.
Autopilot and nav, and here's our flight plan. 15 AZ to PSP. And we should be coming up at about 750. Let's go up a little bit higher. And now let's go find out where we should be looking. How far is Palm Springs? 90. Let's go ahead and see if we can't pick up flight following from the ground from KPSP. And so let's go back and nearest and airport, and that's going to be KBLH. And their frequencies are center. We probably want to go on center and see if we can get in touch with them.
75 Papa Charlie LA Center, advise Big Bear City in sight. It's 12 o'clock, 12 miles.
Terrain
75
ahead.
Papa Charlie,
Terrain ahead.
oh Roger. Radar service terminates, squawk VFR frequency change approved. We'll see that.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
LA Center, Lancer 146 Charlie Hotel is 2,600 for 12,000. Request flight following to Riverside Muni.
240 runway 20 right, clear for land.
Well, I guess they didn't hear us. Los Angeles Center, Lancer 146 Charlie Hotel, request. Yeah, we'd like flight following to Riverside Muni. We're currently 20 miles west of, that would be Bythe or BT at KBLH.
Uh, 146 Charlie Hotel. LA Center, another squawk 1574.
1574, 6 Charlie Hotel.
Niner Zone 92 Tango negative. I didn't switch you to anybody. And 146 Charlie Hotel, your radar contact 10 miles north of Blythe. Out of Blythe, altimeter 29987.
146 Charlie Hotel, roger. Alright, let's go ahead and up our speed. We want to
092 Tango radar contact lines.
We want to keep it below 250 until we get to 10,000. So here's where we are. Yeah, that's me. I repainted my call sign and did it in the cockpit too, but in the process of trying to do the me in the cockpit, I did the right transfer,
heavy contact
but
it's
shown up as dark, so I messed something up. We'll have to get back to that. So let's go back to the cockpit. And we're at 7,000, coming up 160 knots at vertical speed of 2,000 feet.
1225 shot San Luis Tower, say direction as well.
Alright, let's come out here with a little bit of
Interior 1225 shot, roger left downwind departure.
mixture there. Getting up there right snappy, ain't we? Close to 3,000 feet per minute. And since we're going to be at 12,000, we're going to go ahead and stick our oxygen on. And basically we're heading west.
322 Delta 5 shot, so roger departure.
Right now we're direct track of 257, so.
Two Delta 5 shots.
Hello.
4306.
Two
Delta 5 shot, read back correct, advise ready for taxi.
7. Okay, 10,800. We can go ahead and punch her up.
313 November.
1578.
On request standby.
1579. 1580.
Citation 313 November. Play to this
1582.
Lindberghville. Offshore 9 departure, then S-file.
There's our 12,000.
Expect flight level 330.
And watch this knots go from 172 to an expected.
For your initial climb instruction will be climb D6 and maintain 5,000.
Let's fix this guy in the mixer so he's not quite as loud. And we'll go here. Volume mixer.
Contact Santa Barbara departure.
Pilot edge. And let's listen. Okay. Well, I have a little treat for you. I may not be talking all the time.
November. Climb the acidic set, maintain 5,000 and squawk 7403.
I've got a buddy that I like to listen to and on occasion contribute to his show, the Airline Pilot Guy. And we're going to go ahead and go over to there and go to APG.
434 Echo Papa, roger. Taxi to parking via Charlie, good day.
WAPG Airlines.
Unfortunately
Yep.
for
Airline
Uncle
Pilot
Papa,
Episode 240.
stand by. And 122 pressing the Barbara departure, radar contact, resume on navigation and maintain V-fly.
Let's bump him up a little bit so y'all can hear him.
Alright, 285 Delta
Hello,
Bravo,
you're
thank you,
listening
taxi
to the
departure
Airline
via
Pilot
Bravo,
Guy
safe
Show,
parking.
the view from our side of the cockpit door. I'm Captain Jeff, your host, broadcasting live from Studio 1 in the APG headquarters building in a northern Atlanta suburb. In today's episode, fingering new flight displays.
Okay.
A lot
Best of all
going
worlds.
on. More news.
Now the question is, are we being followed?
A new Plane Tales episode entitled Lost. So get all settled.
Let's see.
Tray
Unfortunately
tables
for
and
us,
seat
Papa,
backs in their
congratulations,
upright and
you
lock
passed.
positions, electronic devices powered on. Flight 240 is ready for pushback. Hello everyone and welcome to
Already shows
the
us
Airline
en route.
Pilot Guy
We
Show.
are
I am
airborne.
Captain Jeff, a
322
pilot
Delta Fox,
for a
right.
major U.S. legacy carrier. And
Well, we
joining me
hope
today,
that we're being
we have
recorded.
another pilot from a European carrier. He flies wide bodies, A330s, A340s, coming in from the southwest of London.
Okay.
Hi there, Jeff.
313
Great to
November.
be,
Verify the
broadcasting
correction
with
for your
sun.
clearance will be
I'm
find
amazed.
your 67810 5000
Normally you
squawk
catch me in the dead of
7403.
night, creeping over into the next day. But it's very kind of you to shift the
313
schedule
November,
today
read back
so
to
that
that.
I can get a show in before I head off to Darkest Africa tonight. So
Absolutely.
they trip to Lagos. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to do this. I like podcasting in the morning. I've been doing it
277 ground
for
speed.
several years on another podcast I used to do. I used to host, and every
Let's see if we
Saturday
can
morning.
fix that.
I like having all this exchange of ideas and entertainment early in the morning, and hopefully those joining us
Get it up in the
live enjoy it as well,
1600s.
although I think most of them are probably supposed to be doing work and instead are watching our show, but we're not going to tell anyone.
No.
Let's see.
A little corner in their computer window.
That's right. Hopefully they have their earbuds in their ears and nobody will suspect a thing. And also joining us today from somewhere in Europe, I believe it's in Switzerland, we have Marcus Volker,
283.
who is the host of a fantastic podcast entitled
1625.
and
1630.
he is an independent consultant for software technology and
285.
engineering. In his spare time,
1645.
he likes flying with his sailplane over
1648.
southern Germany. That's why I chose
50.
sailing. I know sailing. Christopher Cross is really talking about
56. 58. 60.
sailboats, but whatever. Welcome, Marcus.
64.
Thanks for having me. Better sailing on the water than no sailing at all.
70. Okay.
So that's fine.
75.
So I'm right now in Lausanne,
1680.
Switzerland. You can see the map of the EPFL, one of the two Swiss federal technical
88.
universities behind me on the wall. And I'm here for
Oops,
a
that was too
one-week
much.
workshop on programming language design. And I've
One
sneaked
back.
out. this
Okay, that's
afternoon.
about the best mixture we're going to get at
Also
this
was supposed to be very theoretical anyway, I didn't
altitude.
get them. So
284 knots.
Wow, that sounds really
Well,
complicated.
I guess we are going
so
into
you're,
a headwind.
This is part of your consulting business that you're doing?
Yes, I do. Part of my work is also, let's say, researchy, and I publish quite a bit on academic conferences, and so this is one of the groups I meet with regularly to just exchange thoughts on language design and stuff like that.
Do you end up speaking, Marcus?
Let me put you on the outside for a second.
Yes, all of the participants here get a 1 hour slot where it's quite interesting. They actually use a chess clock. So you get 30 minutes, the audience gets 30 minutes for questions, and whenever somebody asks a question, the timekeeper presses the chess clock, the other button, and you're guaranteed to have 30 minutes to kind of, speak your message, and the other 30 minutes people can interrupt, and it counts against their time. And so I did give my talk on Monday, so it's quite fun.
Oh, neat.
That's excellent. What subject are you choosing?
Well, I talked about design decisions that drove functional
Coming
programming
up on,
language we built that's supposed to be embedded in other languages that we sell to our
we're kind of following parallel to the
Discussing
V16.
the ABC show, The Bachelor.
And at airport off to our left is
So I'm
Julian
sure that most people listening
Hines.
to the Airline Pilot Guy show have
Let's see.
heard of Omega Tau podcast and have listened.
Can't
And
see it
especially
just
enjoyed
yet.
well, all of them, but especially the aviation-related episodes. So I know I do. And I was on a walk
Let's
last
see
week
what the
listening to
closest
latest,
airport
Mass
that
History,
our
I believe was the title. And really got a kick out of your interaction
GTN
with some
says
of
we
the
have.
guests when you were interviewing.
Yeah, this.
Oh,
this was-
absolutely. That was
L77.
on that one, Marcus. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, good. I was
11
quite happy with
miles.
this one because, as you know,
11.4.
the first of the two interviewees, he was actually
We're
a
26
presentation
miles
with,
from 29
PR-ish
Palms.
about Airbus,
L77.
And so I interrupted that presentation all the time to ask follow-on questions. And as Nick detected,
Bearing
as
is
Steph detected, I wasn't
204.
necessarily always happy about me asking questions.
Yeah, if you go
201.
you probably wouldn't know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's been there for 30 years, right? So it's not
Bearing
like
to
he's
me
just
means
spoken
how many
like that.
degrees
He
off our
did, of course, have to
nose,
say
and that
something
doesn't sound
politically
right, does it?
relevant.
Yeah,
I didn't necessarily agree with, but the next episode that I'll publish over the
Let's go
weekend will
back.
be another aviation-related one. It's going to be an interview with a pilot of a V-22, the tilt rotor Osprey helicopter. I met that guy this summer when they had to do a kind of emergency landing at the airfield I was flying from, and so I asked them whether they would want to do an interview, and that's going to be the next episode.
Let's check on our
that'll be fantastic.
pilot aware, because
Intriguing.
I'm going to abort this
It
if
is.
they're not
Quite a
following
checkered
me.
history as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we're coming into Joshua
Sure.
Tree.
341 heavy
We
contact.
look forward to
All
that.
right, so I guess
And
they are
we'll,
recording me.
put a link to your podcast in the show notes, just so.
Let's see what the nearest
find your way to your
146,
fantastic
sorry, hotel
and very
contact, SoCal
professional
approach 126.7.
I was waiting for the word.
going to 126.7. Thanks. Have a good afternoon.
We're trying to bring a little class to this show by having you on, Marcus.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
we had a great time meeting with
Good
Marcus
41
in
heavy
person
LA
in
summer.
Farnborough.
Yeah, that was
July.
cool.
And hung out for
LA approach, Lance Air 146 Charlie Hotel is with you at 12,000.
2.5 hours of the live recording.
Lance Air 146,
And
Charlie
although
Hotel,
she
SoCal
doesn't
approach,
have
Roger,
any,
Palm
you
Springs,
know,
altimeter
anything to do with flying,
2980.
except of course,
2988,
being,
thanks, 6 Charlie Hotel.
About from me, he enjoyed it. She enjoyed it a lot. So that's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah, you know, we have a lot of folks that listen to the show that have nothing to do
One, two,
with
three, five,
aviation
six, seven,
or
11 o'clock,
whatever,
and,
and
6
they just
miles
enjoy
south.
the
Eastbound,
exchange between
between
the hosts and stuff. Just
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, we're coming up on Palm
So
Springs,
that's you all, whether you love aviation or
32 miles away.
Well,
I'll shut up so you can listen to Captain Jeff.
not. Okay. Captain Nick, you just mentioned that you were.
You know what, I'm going to bring my engines down. You don't really need to hear the engines, do
What
you?
else is new in your life?
You know they're
Well,
there,
I've just had a
don't
lovely
you?
holiday, so I missed the last show. My apologies for that. I hate going to airports when I have some leave. So, and we've got 3 lovely dogs, which
Better,
are
huh?
the light of our life, other than our children, of course, but they're grown up. So we took them down to a...
That's
we rented a
Captain Nick. He
cottage in
flies an Airbus
southwest,
330.
a lovely area of Cornwall, which is, those of you who see the Poldark drama that is on television at the moment, I don't know whether it gets to the States, Jeff, it might do on PBS, but all that is shot around that area, and it is stunning coastline.
And we are recording,
Fishing villages,
so
old smuggling places.
284
beaches,
knots.
so we had a super time down there, so my apologies for missing the show, but that was great. The only other thing that happened was, of course, the end of the lawn bowling season, for those who don't know.
Let's see what
Key lawn bowler.
Sky
I did
Vector
finish
has
up,
to say.
upgrading my
I mean, not
umpires,
Sky Vector.
qualification
November,
to
San Francisco
national
ground,
umpire grade, so
Roger,
now I can get to all the big matches around the United Kingdom. Indeed, the only level above this is international umpire. So if I get that far, I'll be coming overseas to do these matches, which would be great. But I don't think I'm
And the crowd applauds.
Well, thank you very much. It was in the pouring rain on our green just before we closed it. Not normally done outdoors for this very reason. So I was out there doing all the measuring exercises in the wet with my examiner under an umbrella watching, and so that was a bit kind of dreary. And then there's the oral examination as well, and everything has to be passed to a grade of over 90%. So I was very pleased to get it.
Excellent. Now, is that a paid thing, or is it just a volunteer thing?
No, it's you get your costs covered. I think at the highest levels, the guys get remuneration, but not at my level. No, it's all volunteers.
Nice. All right.
How many days per year, Nick, do you have time at home? I mean, how many times do you fly? How many days do you stay at home?
Well, I guess about 2/3 of the year is out of the country. So I guess a total of about 4 months at home, obviously split up in days. So now I'm gone part-time. I'm doing slightly better. So I only fly 85% of a full-time work schedule. And I'm shortly going to apply to move that to 75% because I think, as you get on in your career, money becomes slightly less important, and time at home and not working yourself to death is slightly more important. So hopefully I'll have a little more time to enjoy my hobbies.
Okay.
Excellent. Do you have model airplanes, like airplane models of the types that you've flown in the past?
Well, I haven't really made a collection. I used to have lots, but over the years...
Well, I'm thinking that you may have fewer now, because I hear some banging in the background. I think she might be hitting them with a hammer or something and destroying them.
No, we've got the
284 knots, not too shabby.
So they re-ripped the...
So I've got this programmed in,
guys out there.
as soon as the new wingman
No, that's fine.
comes
as
out,
we mentioned before we started recording,
which is supposed to blow away
this,
the...
Thank you for your patience in advance.
Easy Doc.
No, I actually...
I'm currently running cameras with my Opus FS6, but I'm running weather with AS16.
Meetup, and I saw the conservatory and the water damage.
241 heavy cross, Graham, and maintain flight level 180, railway altimeter
all that's being done over the next few weeks, so hopefully we'll be back on an even keel before.
Now, we are going to be doing or asking for permission to do the procedure right here.
The Bahamas.
Let's take a look at that.
For Florida and
Speedbird 341 heavy, looks like you're off.
So we're going to be coming from Palm Springs
and I think that's within the cone
to
of hurricane warning. So
Leahy, KRAL, Prado,
necessary
into runway 2 Prado is the missed approach.
Food and water and
so we're going to go ahead and
that kind of thing, because it looks like they might
load that approach.
Some rough weather here in the next
but we're not going to activate it yet.
And, so that's kind of the big story here in the U.S. is this big
Palm Springs.
Florida. And,
there's Palm Springs down there.
Evacuated a million people, so your son is not among those?
Want to see what it looks like top down?
Anybody in Orlando.
I've kind of been disappointed in that, so but we'll do it anyway.
But I don't think that they've had any evacuations where he is. But
well, I consider myself pretty fortunate, Jeff. I normally don't like going to Africa, but I think it's a great direction to be.
We've already passed over Palm Springs.
Doing a trip down to Miami.
Miami or do you go to any of the Bahamian Islands, or just Barbados?
Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, but all around that area.
Yeah, they're all in the Eastern Caribbean.
The 747
still see something down there.
Now the 787's going to Havana.
I'm going to take it off of head tracking for a minute so y'all can see what I see off the left wingtip.
Had one of their correspondents in Nassau, Bahamas, and they were at some hotel or something.
Super 341 heavy, descend and maintain 16,000.
Stuck there.
Contact SoCal approach 132.37.
I didn't know if Acme read.
So this should take me back to the pilot's seat.
That island.
I forgot I added a wing look, so this should go to a wing.
I do remember when we used to go to Hong Kong. Or in fact, we
Oh
used
no,
to
that goes to my instruments.
in the early days, our operations manual used to have
And
all
that goes
the
back to my
actions you
cockpit.
had to take for an approaching
Up.
typhoon.
Down.
And of course, Hong Kong's has very sophisticated typhoon warnings, and they count up. You know, at certain levels you had to get the crew together and make sure they were all available. At the next level you had to put them on a certain number of hours notice that they would be required to put their uniforms on.
So this
and
is
if required, we used to dash to the
the
airport.
outskirts of Palm Springs.
Oh, and at some point also you had to make sure the airplanes were all
Let's
gassed.
look at.
We would dash to the airport and just launch the airplanes to get them out of the way of being damaged on
So
the
maybe
ground.
that wasn't Palm Springs down there.
Coming through and sufficient strength to risk damaging the aircraft on the ground. Just basically evacuate and fly away without passengers, just go somewhere where it was safe. All that was fascinating, actually, for those of us, you know, for me in the military.
I'm only
coming out of the
47 miles out,
environment, who'd
so
never really been around.
if I'm going to do that approach, I'm going to have to request it now.
A lot.
They didn't give you chains to tie the
So,
aircraft when they didn't come.
They think
and
it's
notice
safer
that we've
for
got
them
some
to fly 'em out of the
air
region.
traffic there.
Yeah,
He's
but I don't know how
1,600
you-
feet below
I'm
me,
sure
but
you
we
could
better
just
let them know.
Actually,
a big Airbus down, but
Okay, so
I tried to make
flight
it
plan is
No, I
that,
sensed that was a joke. A little sarcasm.
and
because I mean,
we'll
313 November, San Francisco
we do
Tower,
that
with
when-
Mute.
Echo,
when
clip
there is a heavy, when stronger wind is coming in, we do tie down the gliders if we don't put them
Sleeper
into the trailers.
341
So.
heavy, or clear direct KO, across KO at or above.
let's go ahead and ask for
3,000.
permission now, and I'll bring
Sleeper 341 heavy, at KO, maintain 190 knots.
Los Angeles, Lance 146 Charlie Hotel would like to practice the RNAV 27 approach into Kilo Romeo Alpha Lima.
Roger.
Los Angeles Center, Lance 146 Charlie Hotel.
That's Charlie Hotel. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, did you get my request to practice the RNAV approach into Riverside Muni?
That's Charlie Hotel, affirmative.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'd like to start off with vectors to the beginning of the approach, which should be Leahy, the...
That's Charlie Hotel, Roger. Five Los Vegas connects to Southwest number. 313 November, contact NorCal departure. That's 313 November, NorCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain, flight level 190. Southwest 335, Las Vegas clearance, clear to the Van Nuys Airport, McCarran 4 departure, Hector transition, Dennis file, climb via C.
Alright, let's get our altitude down.
Southwest 335, read back correct.
Let's find out that chart. And easiest way to do that is to go to SkyVector. And Riverside Muni.
146 Charlie Hotel, contact SoCal approach 135.4.
Going to 135.46 Charlie Hotel, thanks. Lance Arrow 146 Charlie Hotel is currently on the RNAV approach into Riverside Muni, runway 27, 6 Charlie Hotel.
146 Charlie Hotel, SoCal approach. Sorry, you stepped on second.
Yeah, I just wanted to report in. We're on the RNAV approach into runway 27 at Riverside Muni, 6 Charlie Hotel.
146 Charlie Hotel, roger, practice approach approved. Maintain VFR, no separation services provided.
Maintain VFR, no separation services provided. 6 Charlie Hotel, thanks.
Aircraft calling over Oceana, say again.
4,000, 5,100, that's where we need to be.
A 2016, San Luis Tower right there. Speedbird 341 heavy contact, SoCal approach 128.1.
Let's bring our speed back. We have to bring our speed back because, and we're going to bring out our air brakes.
Speedbird 341 heavy, SoCal approach, roger.
We're going to bring our throttle way back.
290. Vectors ILS runway 20 right approach. After KO, descend and maintain 4,000.
We should be at 4,100 at Wenva. I'm bringing my manifold way down.
Now 2016. Make straight in runway 29 and report a 2-mile final. Now 2016, roger.
8,000 still way high. If I can go up at 3,000, maybe I can also go down at 3,000. I think we're going to hit that 4,100. Got another 2,500 feet to go, but we're down to 140 knots. Notice it says LPV.
F313 November, contact Oakland Center 1. Contact Oakland Center 133.7. F313 November, Oakland Center, roger, climb and maintain, flight level 330. Our 1225 shot, contact LS Center 125.27.
4,100. Take off that speed brake. And did it actually do it? Yeah. Okay. $4,100.
Steer 1225 shot to LA Center, roger.
And I think we're going to make it.
Shot to Palmdale, altimeter 290.
It's a little bit close.
Speedbird 341, head 5 miles from Lemon, turn left heading 220.
3100 at Leahy.
Local adequate hours, runway 20 right approach.
Uh, 4100 now. Let's go to 3100. And at Leahy, we're going to go ahead and
Southwest 335, Las Vegas ground.
go to approach. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go to approach.
Roger, runway 25 right. Taxi via Bravo 5 Bravo. Speedbird 341 heavy, verify, cleared ILS, runway 20 right approach. It's no problem.
Alright, he needs to hand me over to the tower pretty soon.
Uh, 2016, you actually weren't cleared to land there. I told you to report a 2-mile final. You didn't report that either. You can taxi to parking via Alpha, but unfortunately you did not pass the taxi.
Center Lancer 146 Charlie Hotel. I'd like to contact the tower about 3 miles out. I have the runway in sight.
146 Charlie Hotel, right to contact Riverside Tower today.
Thanks for the service, 6 Charlie Hotel. Riverside Tower, Lancer 146 Charlie Hotel is on the RNAV approach for runway 17.
146 Charlie Hotel, Riverside Tower,
Sync
runway
rate.
27, clear to
Pull
land.
up.
Clear to land, 6 Charlie Hotel, thank you.
Pull up.
Speedbird 341
Pull
heavy,
up.
contact John Wayne Tower 126.8.
Pull up.
We're going to have to go around.
Pull up. Pull
Victorville
up.
ground, this is November 26
Pull up.
Victor Tango. We are
Pull
a
up.
type Beechcraft
Pull up.
King Air C90
Pull up.
requesting flight
Pull
following
up.
to Big Bear City
Pull
Airport.
up.
We have information you need.
Pull up.
26 Victor Tango,
Pull up.
Victorville ground.
Pull up.
Departure frequency.
Pull
I'm
up.
slipping purposely
Pull up.
to kill my speed.
Pull up.
This is November 26 Victor Tango. A departure will be on 126.1, squawk 4776.
Oh man, it's sunken.
26 Victor Tango, squawk 4766.
4766, my bad. November 26 Victor Tango.
26 Victor Tango, read back.
Can't believe it. Alright, we'll spend some time finding out what is causing that.
Speedbird 341 heavy, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land.
Clear to land 20 right, Speedbird 341 heavy.
Lancer 146 Charlie Hotel is clear, runway 27, 6 Charlie Hotel.
146 Charlie Hotel, roger, taxi to parking today.
Taxi to parking, appreciate the service. Tower, we're going to go ahead and disconnect. We have some scenery problems, but I appreciate you and have a good evening.
Good evening.
And let's see if we actually got there. Oh man, doesn't say arrived. You saw me do it. And you see me at Riverside.
John Wayne Tower, Speedbird 341 heavy, that's going to be a missed approach.
Speed bird at 341 heavy roger.
Maybe if I...
Climb and maintain 5,000.
175, 5,000.
Yes, arrived. Okay,
Or
cool.
5695 shot Lima. SoCal approach, go ahead.
And we'll copy that and go back to Pilot Edge, where we were before. My flight route. Submit my alphabet flight.
Or 5695 shot Lima. I'm only controlling the SoCal area. I would not know
17.
the Fox area. If you want.
Okay.
Joshua,
Well, that was the 17.
The Fox Tower.
Hope you enjoyed it. Well, do you want to stick around and see what happens when I adjust the scenery? Let's go ahead and go to the outside.
Number 5695 shot Lima. Joshua.
We're going to go ahead and sign off from Pilot Edge. And that'll be... and we'll throw back in some... you can see what I'm doing. We'll put in Captain Jeff back in there with...
Let's see.
But by then we'll be having thought control, Jeff. So
this is the latest
in the chat room
airline
says,
pilot guy.
We'll incorporate Hey Siri.
Now what
Hey,
we're going to be doing, and I'll be.
And now I activated my phone. Wait a minute.
I love it.
Interfere with your sterile cockpit rule, right? If you can't talk to
All right.
anything.
Let's kill global airports first and see if that does anything.
She's not saying anything. Say something to me, Siri.
Hi.
Hi. How are you today, Siri?
I'm pretty good. Jeff.
Siri, would you turn the airplane to a heading of 270 degrees?
Checking.
Jeff flies for
Okay, I
Delta,
found this on the web
but
to turn the airplane to a
he
heading
can't
of
say that
70
online, I
degrees.
guess, so he calls it
Okay,
Acme.
so we're going to have some troubles.
He
So
flies
we'll work out some of
a,
those issues, I guess.
What is it, MD-80?
Moving on, we have the American...
We've already got that on our Airbuses, Jeff. It's called a first officer.
Hey, first officer, turn the airplane to heading 270.
Exactly.
Let's see. American Airlines flight attendants sue Boeing over sudden descent injuries. And are you looking at this on the in the news folder?
Okay.
The picture that they've chosen.
We're still
for the,
out here.
Boeing 777.
Not good. So the next thing we're going to kill
It's an Airbus. It's in American colors, the new paint scheme, but it's an Airbus.
shouldn't make any
321,
difference,
I believe.
but we're going to
They didn't even get the
kill
company right.
AZ.
I mean, usually they'll have another Boeing, like a 737 or something like that, but they got this one all wrong. Oh well. Let's see. The incident, which left several flight attendants with broken bones, occurred on an American Airlines Boeing 777 on October 3rd, 2014. So this was about 2 years ago. Let's see. The suit alleges that as the first officer sat down, his allegedly defective flight seat lurched to the full forward position, trapping him against the plane's yoke and disengaging the autopilot. The Boeing 777 dipped out of control. I love that. Dipped out of control, experiencing a sudden, dangerous, and panic-inducing instantaneous negative G descent, according to the suit filed in a Brooklyn
that
federal
didn't do
court.
it. So
And about 300 passengers in the flight from Kennedy to Buenos Aires was strapped in their seats, but the flight attendants were still up and about securing the serving carts. The flight crew was tossed like rag dolls, and some suffered broken bones. All are dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of the near-death experience.
Wow.
Yeah, love that, huh? Two spouses of the plaintiffs are also suing
we're
Boeing
killing
and
open
IPECO
lane class
for
base.
IPECO? I'm not sure.
And they're talking
IPECO,
about the seats.
maker of the flight seat.
Uh,
Oh, the good news is the
screwing up.
pilots were able to bring the huge jet under control and make a safe landing.
I'd like to point out that this wouldn't have happened if it had been an Airbus.
yeah,
No,
Nick.
I mean, unless you had a DSLR over there.
He calls
on the
Boeing's
side.
bin liners.
I was gonna
Bin
mention that, yeah,
is
let's
British
just
for
But the
garbage
stick-
can or trash can.
So I'm thinking.
In which case you could sue Nikon, which would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
We
I'm
all
not
know
sure
that
they-
Airbus
I'm sure they're gonna get
drivers
some money for this, but
just
I'm not
push
sure
the go,
who knows?
fly,
We weren't in the cockpit at the time to see
and
exactly
land button,
what
and that's
happened
it.
and
That's
caused
there's
the,
only 3
the
buttons in
negative
that
G pushover,
cockpit.
But blaming it on the
Well,
seat
that didn't
sounds like a
work
good
either.
idea.
All right, so here goes the land class.
Speaking of lawsuits, this over in your neck of the woods, Captain Nick, back in 2011, Flight Lieutenant Sean Cunningham died after being ejected from his Red Arrows jet. What airplane did they use? Hawk T1?
Yeah, that's right. I got a lot of hours on this particular aircraft.
I don't remember the story, so because it was so long ago, and actually started the Airline Pilot Guy show in 2011. That was the newly branded program, so I don't know if I even heard about this story back then. But apparently, the airplane was on the ground, and the seat was not.
It's still not. Okay, we're going to cut right here because I need to turn on the lights for my wife who's just coming in from Lexington.
Takeoff or either landing. And can you feel the difference? I have not. Captain Nick, have you ever experienced that?
Not a burst tire, but a deflated one. And of course, you don't actually know where the tire's, what condition it's in. So you just kind of assume it's not available. You just land normally, really, and you usually taxi off, clear the runway, have it inspected, and then if it's safe, you taxi very slowly onto the gate. But it's no big deal. There's if we get a low tire pressure indicating that the tire's deflated, we just it's just crew awareness, really. We've got so many damn tires, it's not really a problem.
I had that incident at Pittsburgh, I think it was earlier this year, maybe last year, where I thought that I had a flat tire because the airplane wasn't rolling freely. It turns out that it was actually an entire brake assembly that had just completely disintegrated and was causing the friction. I've not ever had a flat tire or a blowout or whatever, but I have heard, and this is interesting to me, when I was contacting maintenance control when we thought it was a flat tire, and my airplane has a tandem main landing gear, which means that 2 main gear tires on the left side, 2 main gear tires on the right, and not a multiple tire truck system. And the maintenance folks in Atlanta said that you can go ahead and taxi, even if one of the tires was deflated, it was designed to support the entire load of the airplane without a problem, and we could go ahead and taxi to the gate. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah. I thought for sure they would have to, do something before I continued taxiing the airplane. But it turns out it wasn't a flat tire.
That's a good question.
Yeah, what is he saying?
He's not wondering, Jeff, if you can recall from your QRH what your actions would be if you got a tire burst on takeoff. Would you leave the gear down or would you retract?
You would leave the gear down because you don't want to retract something that has, potential damage to it and then end up getting it stuck inside, the well.
Yeah. I would agree with that 100%.